Unit 1 Measurements Standard 6th. Few questions to start with. Your cousin asks you what your height is. How will you measure and inform him? Your friends decide to play kabaddi. How will you measure and draw the border lines? Your father gives you a bag and asks you to get potatoes. How will you ask the shopkeeper? A bag full of potatoes, or how will you ask? Your mum daily gets milk from the milkman. How much does she get? A cup of milk or two tumblers of milk, or how? How long will it take to reach your school from your house? How does the shopkeeper measure kerosene while selling it? We already heard about the words like weight, kilogram, liters, milliliters, kilometer, length, distance, etc. In this chapter, let's have a deeper look at length, weight, volume, and time, and the necessity to measure them. To do the tasks given above, we need to know about measurement. The comparison of unknown quantities with some known quantities is known as measurement. Measurement of a quantity has two parts, a number and its unit. Length. What is length? The distance between one end and the other desired end is called as length. It may be the distance between the edges of a book or a table or the corners of a football ground or even from your home to school. The standard unit of length is meter. It is represented by letter small m. Very small lengths can be measured in millimeter and centimeter. Still, larger measures, say height of a building, a banner or a lamppost, are all measured in meter. How to express still longer lengths? Say distance between two cities or villages or distance between your school and home. It is expressed in kilometer, small k, small m. These are the measuring tools we are going to utilize it for measuring. The first one is measuring tape. Measuring tape. It is used to measure the length and the distance. We can see this instrument used by the masons when constructing a building. This is balance. It is used to measure the mass of the object. This instrument can be seen by you in many retail shops. And this is meter scale. It is used to measure the length of the distance, and you are all using day-to-day life in your classrooms. This is measuring jar. It is used to measure the volume of the liquids used by the milkman, oil vendor, etc. It is used to measure the accurate time of the activity. This is called as stop clock, and it can be seen in many of the running race and all the races and all the competitions by the PT sirs and other judges who are using this. You would have been seen that. And also we can able to see some of the watches and even cell phones are having these stop clocks. Know the unit of length. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Think, can you convert 1 kilometer in terms of centimeter? So what we need to do? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Now we need to think that how to convert 1 kilometer into terms of centimeter. It is very simple. Just multiply 100 meter into 100 centimeter, which will get you the kilometer of 1. So the answer is 100,000 centimeters. 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Measuring the length of your pencil. Measure the length of your pencil now. For sure, the lengths of all your pencil are not the same. Take the meter scale. Check lines with marking 1, 2, 3, 4 till 15 for smaller scales or till 30 for bigger scales. The distance between 1 and 2 is denoted as centimeter. It is written as small c and small m. Notice in between 1 and 2 there will be smaller markings. If you count, there will be 9 such lines. The distance between any two consecutive smaller markings within a centimeter denotes the millimeter, and it is written as small mm. To measure the length of a pin using a scale, count the number of centimeters. From the count the number of fine divisions. The count of division is millimeter. In the above example, the length of the pin is 2.5 centimeter and 25 millimeter.
Going to measure in hand spans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.5. This is 15 centimeter scale. How many times I am going to measure is the length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, height is equal to 7 times of a 15 centimeter scale and extra 3.5 centimeter.
How to measure a pencil? Take a centimeter scale and 0 centimeter has been shown, and keep the pencil there, and the end point is 15 centimeter, which should be marked. The same way, how to measure a pin? 0 centimeter mark is there. From there we need to take the pen's end point where 13.4 subdivision is there. So we need to mark the 13.4 subdivision. Length, mass and time. Why do we need SI units? Let us now understand more about the three important quantities: length, mass and time. For the sake of uniformity, scientists all over the world have adopted a common set of units to express measurements. This system is called as International System of Units or SI units. SI unit of length is meter, SI unit of mass is kilogram, SI unit of time is second. Area of surface is equal to m square. Volume of solid is equal to m cube. Multiples and submultiples of SI units. Prefixes used in SI units. Always remember the base unit is meter, liter, kilogram. The below table column shows prefix, abbreviation, submultiple, multiple for meter. The equivalence is given below. Please observe and study and by heart. It will be very useful in the future. This is an activity to measure objects event in the table using suitable measuring units and express them with suitable multiples and submultiples. The answer for the activity is given here. Corrective measures for the measurement. Measurement has to be accurate and approach has to be correct always. In our day-to-day life, approximation may not have much impact, but it has a large impact in scientific calculations. For example, if the curvature of key lock and key is changed even 1 millimeter, the lock would not open. Let us look at some common mistakes that occur while using scale. The first error is parallax error. Parallax is a displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along two different lines of sight. You can able to see these two lines in this scale. The line which is matching near the line of the scale should be taken when you have been viewing vertically, and you should not view it in the horizontal way. So if you are viewing in the horizontal way, it will give you the parallax error. We are going to see it in the next slide. See the positions of A, B and C. So what they have been doing, which one is correct? Parallax is a displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along two different lines of sight. See, actually B is correct. She is seeing vertically straight to the scale, and the person who is seeing from C will be having different measurement. The same way, the person seeing from A will be having different wrong measurement. So this A and C will get wrong measurements or the readings. Only the B reading will be correct. So by this way, if you have been taking the reading is called as correct reading, and the reading which has been taken from A and C is the parallax error. How to measure a ornament which is a curved line? This is the first point of A which has to be used with the string, and this is the second point B which has to be bent towards the ornament, and it should be taken to the scale. The A and the B point, the string is placed in the scale and the total measurement is 15. If it has been more than that of 15 centimeter, again we need to extend the string, and from the B point to C point again we need to measure from the scale of 0. So it is 6.5 centimeter. Totally 15 plus 6.5 equal to 21.5 centimeter. Volume of solids. Length is a fundamental quantity. That means it cannot be expressed in any other quantities. Using length, we can find out other measurements like area and volume. Area is obtained by using two lengths. So, area is equal to length into breadth. Now, you can guess how to measure the area of your textbook, your classroom or your playground. Volume is a derived quantity and it can be measured from measuring lengths. Let us calculate volume of a box. To know the volume of a box, we need to know the length, breadth and height. With a measuring scale, measure the three parameters in centimeter. The volume of box L into B into H. Unit of volume would be obviously centimeter into centimeter into centimeter equal to cubic centimeter or centimeter cube. What do you infer from this? Assume the volume of cubical box is 1000 cubic centimeter. It means 1000 cubes, each with dimension 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter can be placed inside the box. Try to express this quantity in suitable unit. Volume of liquid. Measuring the volume of liquid is quite easy. Liquids take the shape of the container in which they are kept. A liquid whose volume is to be found can be simply be poured into a graduated container. Graduated cylinders, beakers, pipettes and burettes are available for measuring exact volumes. The volume of liquid is usually measured in liters. Different types of graduated cylinders. This is conical flask, this is a round bottom flask, this round flat bottom flask, this is burette, this is measuring jar, this is other kind of measuring instruments which is found in the laboratories. We would have often heard the word liter in our daily life. For example, 1 liter milk packet, 20 liters water can. You also can see in this picture a milkman is pouring in liters a measuring jar here to a customer. Measuring the volume of objects with irregular shape. Suppose you want to measure the volume of an object which has irregular shape. How will you do this? There is no mathematical formula to measure this, but there are many ways to do. Remember, volume is the space occupied by an object. We can use this property to measure the volume of an object with the irregular shape, for example, a stone. Let us try to find volume of a small piece of stone. This is the measuring jar which is having ml in measurements. Now I am pouring 50 ml of water first. Then I am putting a irregular shaped object, example stone, inside this measuring jar. What happens? See, after putting the stone, the water rises to 75 ml. So what is happening? Again I will repeat. Fill a graduated measuring cylinder with water to certain level, say 50 ml. Tie the stone with a piece of fine thread. Immerse the stone completely into the water. As the stone is immersed, we can observe that water level increases. Why? The stone displaces the water to occupy the space inside the cylinder. How much water would be displaced? It would be equal to the space taken up by the stone. Okay, now I can able to tell you that the amount displaced by this stone will be equal to that of the weight of the stone. So the amount of water displaced will be the volume of the stone. This method is called as water displacement method. Suppose initially the water level was 50 ml. After you immerse a stone, the water level rises to 75 ml. What is the volume of water displaced? Volume of water displaced is 75 ml minus 50 ml, that is 25 ml. 1 ml is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. So 25 ml is equal to 25 centimeter cube. The volume of stone is equal to 25 centimeter cube is the answer. Next, volume of a gas. We can also measure the volume of a gas. Gases expand to fill the container into which they are placed. When you compress a gas, you can make the same gas to occupy lesser space. That is, as in LPG gas cylinder. Therefore, it is not easy to talk about the volume of a gas in the same way as a volume of a stone or a liquid. It is essential to take into account the pressure at which the gases are kept. We will learn about this later. SI unit of volume of solid is cubic meter. Liquids and gases are usually measured in liters, but also can be measured in m cube or cubic meter. Similar to the length, 1 meter cube equal to 1 kiloliter, KL or K capital L. 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter, ml or m capital letter L. 1 millimeter cube is equal to 1 microliter or mu L or mu capital letter L. Mass. Mass and weight. Mass is the measure of the amount of matter in an object. Weight is the gravitational pull experienced by the mass. Hold a sheet of paper in one hand and a book in another. Which hand feels the heaviness? The mass of the book is more than that of the single sheet of paper. Therefore, the pull on the book is more than that of the paper. Hence, our hand has to give more force to hold a book than a paper. This force is what we experience as heaviness. The SI unit of mass is kilogram. It is represented by the kg, that is small k, small g. Now, a question. What is your mass? If you measure it grams, that would be a huge number, is it not? So, it is expressed in kilogram. Bigger weights are measured in ton or metric ton. 1000 milligram is equal to 1 gram. 1000 gram is equal to 1 kilogram. 1000 kilogram is equal to 1 ton. Beam balance. We use beam balances to measure mass. A beam balance works by comparing the mass of an object to that of known mass called a standard mass. Electronic balance. An electronic balance is a device used to find accurate measurements of weight. It is used very commonly in laboratories for weighing chemicals to ensure a precise measurement of those chemicals for use in various experiments. Electronic balances may also be used to weigh food, other groceries, items as well as jewelry. Day changes into night and night into day. Seasons also change. We know time passes. How do we measure the passage of time? Clocks are used to measure time. You know how to read a clock face and note the time. You can also use your pulse to measure a rough time. Count the number of pulses that can tell you the time elapsed. In a normal speed of speaking, say 1 little second, 2 little second to count the passage of time. Do you know? In early days, people used sand clock to measure the passage of time. In earlier days, people used sand clock and sundial to measure the passage of time during the day. The shadow caused by a stick can be used to estimate time. One can also use a vessel with a small hole for computing time. Take a vessel or bottle with a small hole in it and fill it with water. The time taken for water to drain can also be used as a measuring device. These are rough methods for counting passage of time. We can use electronic clock, stopwatch and other instruments to count even smaller durations of time. Fast facts. An odometer is a device used for indicating distance traveled by an automobile. The metric system or standard set of units was created by the French in 1790. A ruler or scale used nowadays to measure length was invented by William Bedwell in 16th century. A standard meter rod made of an alloy of platinum and iridium is placed at the Bureau of Weights and Measures in Paris. National Physical Laboratory in Delhi has a copy of this meter rod. 1 kilogram is equal to the mass of a certain bar of platinum iridium alloy that has been kept in since 1889 at the International Bureau of Weights and Measures in Sèvres, France. Scan this QR code for self-evaluation.